Hi everybody, welcome to Bubble and Squeak. My name is Debbie and today we're going to be making tie-dye soap. So let's get started with what you need. You're going to need a soap mold. I've chosen to use my silicone 6 cavity mold. I find this one easy to use to get the bars of soap out, as you've seen in the last video, but you can use any square or rectangular bars of soap molds that you can get your hands on. We're going to need our soap base. Today I'm using, it's called ArtMinds. I bought it at Michael's. This is Shea butter soap and it's a little bit more white than the 3 butter soap that I was using the other day. I want to get a nice definition of color between the dyes that I'm using and the soap base. You'll see what I'm talking about as we go along. I have already gone ahead and cubed up 8 ounces. I actually put 9 in here just so that I make sure I have enough with the residue that stays behind in the container to do 2 bars of soap today. So that's ready to go. We'll be melting that in a minute. I have my handy dandy temperature gun. We want to pour this soap at a low temperature, so I'm really finding this handy. It's very much worth the investment if you don't have one and you want to do soaping and you know you're going to continue to do soaping. I suggest you invest in one of these. I have my 91% rubbing alcohol. I have my little bath bomb containers. Right now these two have the rubbing alcohol in it. I went ahead and put some more rubbing alcohol in these two from yesterday. I was doing a soaping project on my own and I had some leftover color. I just left them in here and they dry out because the rubbing alcohol obviously evaporates, but you can just re-add alcohol to it if you've got too much color when you're doing a soaping project. Leave them in the containers and just add more alcohol back into it. So today we're using the Stardust Micas, and this one is our blue ice and this one here is red strawberry. We're going to use this as well as the yellow and green to make our tie-dye soap. I thought it'd be really nice to have some lovely spring colors. Spring is coming here in Canada and we had a wild winter, so it's going to be nice to have some color. Again, I have my scooping sticks to scoop out the mica dye and to put them into our little bath bomb molds. My handy dandy pipette that I have the markings on. Now I want to correct myself. I was talking the other day in my video about this being in ounces. It's not, and I apologize for that. It's in milliliters. I don't know where my head was. So that is a correction on my behalf. I tend to put about 2 milliliters into my soap bases. I find that's enough fragrance and it's in the safety zone of fragrances and soap. So I like having the pipettes, as I said in the video before, because this way I know exactly how much I'm putting in my soap. I have my Skewers stir stick ready to go, my cloth for my table, and my gloves. Didn't forget those today. And of course, my mat to protect my table surface. So I'm going to go ahead and melt down the soap base. This I'm putting in the microwave first burst at 50% power, 20 seconds, and then I will continue at 10-second intervals until it's melted down but not boiling. So we will be back. Okay, so we're back. I've melted down the soap. I'm going to put my gloves on now so that I'm not thinking about have I done it or not later on. Get these on here. So today we're going to use another Candora fragrance for our soap, and I am so excited about spring that I decided to do something in a nice berry scent today. So today's scent I chose is called Fresh Picked Raspberry by Candora Soap. I will put a link at the bottom in the description of where to purchase your scents from Candora Soap as well as your soap bases. As I said, today I'm using one I actually had bought some time ago at Michael's. So I'm just going to add in my 2 milliliters of fragrance right into the soap base here. And I'm going to stir this up. So today we're not going to be adding in our colors to the actual soap base in the container. We're going to do something different to get our tie-dye effect. This is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm just going to find out what temperature we're at here. So we're at 141, so we're going to let it cool, and as we're letting it cool, we're going to get everything ready to go for pouring. That smells so good. Okay, so we have our soap mold. And today what we're going to do is we're going to mix up our colors, and then we're going to dropper them with the pipette into our soap mold. So I'm just going to go ahead and get these stirred up. Nice colors here. So again, these are the Stardust micas. I love using mica powder because you don't have to use much of it. So economically, it's good investment. They cost a little more than if you were to buy a liquid soap, but they also go a lot longer of a way. So when you look at it that way, it's cheaper in the long run to use your mica powders. And you can get so many different colors. So this one is Red Strawberry. Again, another really pretty color. I tend to be messy when I'm doing this. Mica powder everywhere here. So I'm just going to stir up my mica powders. Put that one in the wrong container. Stir in the blue. So there we have it. We have 4 really nice spring, summery kind of colors to put together. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to, I'm just going to give my mold a wipe out because I managed to get mica powders everywhere, and that kind of defeats what I want to do here. Okay. Good enough. Alright, so we're going to take our dropper. We're going to drop drops of the colors into the mold. And just random little dots will do. And I wasn't prepared here. I need more pipettes for each color, so I will be right back. Okay, now I have my pipettes. We can continue. So now we're going to put some blue dots in. And we're just going to randomly put the dots around. And I'm going to make my usual mess here. Again, there's no pattern. You can do whatever you want. I just like to do things randomly. Some of the dots are going to bleed together. That's okay. Because we are going to get the tie-dye effect, so they will blend a little bit anyways. So let's put some drops of yellow in here. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready to pour. So I'm just going to give my soap another stir. And it's got a skin on it, so I'm going to check the temperature. I'm not going to make the same mistake yesterday and pour too cold. I want the soap to be cool, but I don't want it to be too cold so that when I start pouring it sets right away. So depending on the temperature of this soap, I might heat it a little bit again. 134, so we should be okay. Got a little bit of a skin on it, but It's a nice thick shea butter. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pour right onto these dots of color very slowly so that they disperse in the soap, and we're going to fill it about halfway. Oh, poured a little fast there, but that's all right. No harm. Okay, so now I'm going to give it a spritz of alcohol. Now you're going to see that when I do this, I'm just going to move the camera in a little further here, that when I spray with alcohol, the colors are going to disperse a little more, and that's okay. We don't mind that. So now I'm going to add just a little more of each color into, so we want this to be nice and intense. On the green and blue. And just random dots here and there, and our red. Okay, so I'm going to give this one more spritz of alcohol, and you'll see what'll happen with the colors. They kind of mold out. So I'm just going to give this a stir because it's forming a skin. I'm going to pour again. And we're going to take it almost to the top, but not quite, because we're going to do one more color infusion here. And each bar is going to be slightly different. We know this. And we're going to do one more set of colors. Dot them in. Green. And now we're going to top it off. So we want to make sure the mold is very, very close to the top here. Don't over pour, done that before. We should have just enough butter here to go, the shea butter soap base to go into this. Perfect. So adding another little bit of soap to the amount that your mold takes is a wise choice, because we always end up with some residue on the bottom. I can melt this down again another time, but for the purpose of getting the soap done before it starts to set, I'm just going to spray the top with alcohol here. It's better to just put a little bit of extra butter in. So I'm just going to take my skewer and I'm going to run it around a little bit just to get a nice swirl of the different colors. I'm not going to over swirl. We're just going to swirl a little bit. And we're going to spray the top with our rubbing alcohol to get rid of any bubbles. And now we're just going to let this sit, and it's going to harden, and then once it's ready and it's set, we will come back and unmold it. We'll see you soon. Hi everyone, we're back. So our soap is set now and ready to be unmolded, and I just want to show you in the molds how pretty this is. I can't wait to get it out of the molds and see what the other side looks like. So this will always be the bottom of the soap, and the part that's at the very bottom will be the top of the soap. So we're just stretching out my mold here. Get these unmolded. So we have some coloring at the bottom of the molds. That's fine, that'll wash right out. And here's our soaps. So they are gorgeous, very, very pretty. That's one of them. I love how they turn out so differently on each side of the bar. And this is the other one. So these are tie-dye soaps, and they smell beautiful. They smell like the fresh picked raspberry, and these are our tie-dye bars. I'm going to put all the links to the different products that I've used in the description box below. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you for our next soaping video. Goodbye.